Good day, students. Today we will be looking at tabulation. I know that some persons may have some concerns as it relates to how to properly lay out the lines, how to properly insert the information as it relates to merging the cells and so on. So today I will be going step by step through the process of creating your table through tabulation. All right, and as you know, we will be using Microsoft Excel to complete our process. Now, let's look at the assignment itself, right? Tabulation. Alliance Traders Limited quarterly sales report. Even though this information is displayed on your sheet, it is definitely not the way in which we want you to actually formulate the information or to lay out the information, right? No, this is just the information to say this is what we're looking for in the table. However, as it relates to tabulation, there's a specific way of laying out this information. All right, so let's jump right into that. Just to give you a few pointers, read the instructions carefully. As you can see, it says bold, italic here, double lines, bold all column headings, right? You should pay attention to these things. All right, so let's look at what our tabulation sheet should actually looks like. So this is what your tabulation sheet should look like versus what I showed you just now as it relates to the instructions paper, right? Now, as you can see here, we had merged all the information for items, right? Northern branch and southern branch is almost close together. There is a specific way of actually getting the words turning or showing it like in this direction. All right, so this direction is actually called a 90 degrees angle direction, right? And let me show you how we can get this done. So I'm just gonna go over to my right hand corner and I'm just going to show you some examples of how to get that done. So example, I'll be typing sales report, maybe date. And as I said, it's just an example. All right, so first and foremost, we have to draw our lines, right? To identify our cells or tables, right? So I'm going to click here, which is a drop down arrow. You will see some options. What we need is to ensure that all our lines are meeting basically, right? So we need 3 boxes and those are known as cells, right? And it is where a horizontal and a vertical line meets. That's when it is referred to as a cell, C-E-L-L. All right, so we're going to use the option that says all borders. Go ahead, you should be seeing this, right? So that's how we got all the lines that we had drawn here. All right, next step, we have the information in bold where it says items. So how do we bold? We got the top left hand corner of the screen, right? You'll see the capital B and you click on that, your items should be in bold or your words should be in bold. All right, let's add a few more information. Let me just copy the information that is here, paste it here, right? And as you can see, the information for washing machines, it's basically outside of the line. So what we're going to do is to double tap here, the center that divides M and N, right? Double tap, so 2 times, and then the information will be filled in that cell block. All right, so as we mentioned before, we want to see how we can actually get sales report and date in a 90 degrees angle. So first of all, I'm going to highlight the information that I need, which is sales report and date. At the top, almost to the center of my screen, where it says alignment, right? I'm going to click on the little drop down arrow there, or the little arrow, or Dorito, as some person would call it, right? Where it says number alignment. So we're looking at alignment. And the orientation to the right hand corner, that's what we're changing. So the 90 degrees angle is actually referred to as the orientation, just as though you would see it in Microsoft Word. It's the same thing. Orientation, you would actually change the direction of your page, right? From landscape to portrait, from to orientation, right? So we're just gonna select the orientation that we need here. So what we need is basically a 90 degrees angle. As you can see here, it's 0. So we're gonna go ahead and type 90. Now you will see the information reflecting here on this clock. So if I was to click type 180, right, it would show basically the same thing. So you know that a full circle is 360 degrees, right? So for a 180 would be half of a circle. 90 degrees would be 3/4 of that 180, right? So, sorry, not 3/4, it would be a half of that 180. That's the reason why you are seeing 90 degrees looking similar to the 180, which is a half. Right, so once that is done, you're going to go ahead and click OK. And you can see the difference or the changes on the right for sales report and date. All we have to do now is to click center at the top left hand corner to center the information in the cells, right? Good. So we understand what it means or how to actually get the words displaying at a 90 degrees angle. Now what's next? Here we had mentioned that we wanted to merge the information, the cells, right? So say for instance, let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we have 5 columns, right? 5 columns that actually displays the information where it says northern branch. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we're going to highlight that and we're going to add our borders. What we're going to do here is to type northern branch. All right, so as we mentioned before, we're going to merge the cells, and as usual we're going to bold, right? We're going to highlight all the cells that we need to be merged. Once that is done, we're going to go to the top center or almost center of the screen where it says merge and center. There's a little drop down or a Dorito or a little triangle at the side. We're going to go ahead and click on that. Once that is done, you will see options: merge and center, merge across, merge cells, unmerge cells. So what we need here is to merge and center. Once we select merge and center, what it does is to basically pull all the cells together in one so that it can display the information. All right, so that's our example as to how we got the cells merged here as relates to northern branch. All right, our next concern, so that would be the same thing that we did here for the Alliance Traders Limited for the heading, right? So say for instance we had started writing the information or drawing the table at the first row, second column. What we would need to do is to just click on the left hand corner, which is at the top, the first number, which is number 1. We're going to right click on our mouse, then you will select insert, When you select insert, what it does is to insert a row above number 1. So number 1 now becomes number 2. Good? All right, awesome. So here where we have the 2 lines, right? You can see that we have 2 lines drawn here in the middle that actually basically separates northern from southern branch and sales information. How we get that done? All we need to do is to basically go to insert, right? Say for instance, we're going to draw that line. So let's copy this information and ensure that the right side has that same information. All right, so we're going to draw a line in between sales report and date. So let's border that section as well. Good. So what we're going to do now is to basically go to insert, shapes, and we're going to select the line that we need. Now what we're going to do to draw this line is to left click on our mouse, pull, hold, left click, hold, and pull. Take it to the from one end to the next. Once that is done, you can go ahead and ensure that your line color is in black. All right. Once we had selected that, then you can see how we actually had a double line drawn between the left side, which is sales report and date, to separate the other side, which is the right side of that information. The same thing that we're going to do is to go to insert, shapes, select the line, and then we're basically going to do the same thing at the bottom, right? But we don't actually have the bottom line to join the inserted line. So let me just go ahead and insert the borders, right? And you have to get the lines as close as possible. And you have to ensure that the lines are sealed, meaning it should look like the table is in one with that double line there at the bottom, right? Or another way to actually get this done is, all right, let's not get into that until we go to step 2 of our next class. All right, but so far we have inserted the information as relates to a 90 degrees angle, alignment, or orientation, right? Also how to merge and center our information and how to insert a line. Now, as you can see here, it says that we should ensure that we have our dollar sign. It should be in US. So what we will do is to type capital U and S and the dollar sign, right? And it should display in a 90 degrees angle. Don't forget. And as we said, our best friend, always check your best friend, right? Your best friend times the Romans font size 12, unless told otherwise. All right, and that's it for today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will meet again.